2, 1. We talking shop. Welcome everybody. We're gonna have 3 topics today, all the way from NBA to MMA to NFL. All right, let's get into it. LeBron's tantrum. This is what we talking about shop, so we go quick here. LeBron's tantrum. Obviously, you guys saw it. He got fouled. He was on the floor crying for about 5 minutes long. Roland, take us into this, man.
Well, I don't know if it was for 5 minutes long. He still might actually be on his knees crying right now. I don't know if anybody's checked it out, but honestly, I gotta give it to him. It was a great performance that he put out there in the game, and with that, him on his knees, he got fouled point blank, and I like that he protested the next game, and hey, I have some ankle soreness. I'm not going to play, and gave a big middle finger to the NBA. So props to LeBron for that. I like that.
Ben, before we go to you, I want to hear what Justin's got to say about this.
Yeah, I guess it's not probably a Laker fan to comment on this. I'm okay with it. I'm glad this guy still cares about winning because he was protesting the foul, not because of his stats, because he wants to win and he wants to get into the playoffs. So in year 20, other guys might have just said, hey, you know what? I've done it all, whatever, but not Bron. Bron still wants to win, and every game matters to him. And I'm glad to see it. I'm okay with it.
Ben, say what everybody's thinking, man. Just say it.
Oh, man.
Be that guy.
It's La La Land. The Oscars are around the corner. He had to put on his best dramatic performance, get himself in there for Best Male Actor. We know the NBA is entertainment. LeBron, that was insane. Very un-king-like. A king would never be on his knees pleading for mercy like that. That was horrible. The memes, love it for the memes. This is going to be going crazy on the internet for years to come. But I mean, this is a reason why people have that argument, like, oh, Jordan would have never done that.
As the biggest LeBron fan here, this is something to me where I got to come out and say, like, bro, stop, please, because I'm tired of defending you. I'm the one who's over here getting in arguments with my friends, covering for your ass about, being the GOAT and being over Jordan. And then I got to see you do stuff like this, man. He doesn't need to do it. Like Ben said, I get the passion, but to me, it was totally unnecessary. Definitely not necessary at all. And it's tough for a LeBron fan and me, a person like me, to watch this. I didn't like it. Bad look for LeBron. Bad look for the legacy. All right, so you guys are the UFC aficionados in here. There was a huge deal today with somebody outside of the UFC. WWE, actually. Mr. Logan Paul signs a deal with Dana, UFC, and his drink Prime deal.
Yesterday Logan teased a video, and he kind of made it seem like he was gonna, fight in the UFC. I told the guys in the chat, no, it's not gonna be that. I guarantee you, it's gonna be the Prime deal. And sure enough, UFC has a new drink. They announced that they're gonna have new sponsorship. I'm not sure what the percentage the fighters are gonna get off of this. As we've seen in the past, they seem to not benefit at all from these sponsorships. And now they're renaming the corners. You will no longer hear fighting out of the red corner, fighting out of the blue corner. You're going to be hearing fighting out of the Prime Zone or Prime Rehydration Center. So things are changing. One of the things that did come up is they did start a charity, a not-for-profit charity that's going to help teenagers. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, seeing what that's about. That might be the best that comes out of this Prime deal. Might not benefit the fighters at all, but at least some teens will benefit from it.
I'm just to help. I'm very opinionated, so I'm probably not the best person to go to with this. But
this is pretty interesting. They used to be sponsored by Body Armor, so I guess the Body Armor deal finished. We know Body Armor's with the NBA also. People like Harden and several other players are sponsored by Body Armor. Kobe used to be. The UFC was by Body Armor. Now it's this new Prime drink. I mean, you got to think Logan Paul's hot as fish grease, right? Coming off that Royal Rumble performance, probably the highlight of the Royal Rumble. And
no.
Definitely the highlight of the Royal Rumble. And Dana White, I mean, look at Roland's favorite smirk there in that picture right there. I mean,
insane.
Damn greasy ass Uncle Dana, baby. I mean, you got to think, the fighters might not get much from it, but the fan base that comes with Logan Paul, and I think KSI was in on the deal also.
Good point, though, about the fighter pay, though, Justin. I am curious to see if any of this goes to the fighters. They get a cut, especially with, Logan Paul's Jake Paul's brother, and how Jake Paul's been talking about, fighter equality. So that is another angle for sure.
With him, it's Dana White getting in the headlines for the wrong reasons, for teaming up with somebody outside of the UFC, especially somebody like Logan Paul that you've seen reporter for the Nelk MMA kind of get teased and bitched around there in the back by the fighters, guys saying, I know why you're here, just because you're Dana's boy, you can be back here. A lot of people in the MMA world are thinking that these guys are getting special privileges into their sport that they actually train for, and bleed for and sweat for, and they're coming in and they're making money. I mean, if you're looking at it from a UFC hardcore fans perspective, or even a fighter, you have this third party coming in and making a shitload of money off of your back, essentially. So I think it's a bad look for Dana. Obviously amazing, if you're a Logan Paul fan here. This guy has created something from nothing all the way, to the top, where he's taking over the world financially. And, he's on every social media page also. So good for Logan, really bad for Dana.
Whether or not he was actually fired or not is yet to be determined. Some people say they mutually parted ways, but for some Dallas Cowboys fans, you guys can rejoice because Kellen Moore is no more. He's no longer the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. The play calling duties have now been shifted to Mike McCarthy, and that's where I'm putting my focus. Kellen Moore, he's out the window. Whatever he did for the Cowboys, thank him, say goodbye.
For me, it's just Jerry Jones saying, I paid my players, now I got to fire the coaches. That's really what happened, man. I mean, either way, Kellen Moore was getting looked at for head coaching position, so it looked like he was going to leave Dallas, regardless of, Jerry wanted to keep him around or not. But I think this is him just saying, I paid Dak, I paid Zeke, what else can I do? I didn't do the wrong thing. I did what the fans wanted. I paid the players. Now I can kind of throw blame over here to Kellen Moore, coming off of a Jason Garrett type offense. Remember, McCarthy kept him. McCarthy kept Moore, when he took over the team. So
very similar, like what the Chargers did, where kind of everybody knows that probably, I think most Cowboys fans would be better off having Dan Quinn as their head coach instead of Mike McCarthy, just based on the improvement that he's really made to that defense and making it a top defense. So I think it's kind of like what the Chargers did, and, just firing the OC and letting the head coach keep their job. McCarthy, this is the last straw, right? There's nobody else that he can blame after this. Kellen Moore was kind of just that last, scapegoat, some would say. Started at the top, Kellen Moore would have been a casualty as well. But I would have started at the top instead of just at the OC.
I think that you already seen 2 years now what Kellen Moore and Dak paired together gets you, and that's a one playoff win. So at this point, you have to move on from one of them, if not both of them. But unfortunately, like Ron said, you're tied to the contract of Dak. You can't move on from Dak. So it's time to move on from Kellen Moore. And like Roland said, this is like a remnant of Jason Garrett's offense. We're seeing a lot of the reverses, a lot of the same concepts. And you know what? It does work in the regular season because you saw how many yards and the high-powered offense Dak had during the regular season, but it didn't translate to the playoffs.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know what you think of these 3 topics. What's your opinion? And let us know. Drop it on a comment below.